Okay, I'm going to start making a little video here, give you some feedback on your site. Um, this is pretty weird way to start a web page. That is this big block of pink and pink over here, and then this low. I think I would, and you're working with templates, so you can't control everything perfectly. But if I could, I'd bring your name up higher, and I would get rid of the color on the sides and just let this go across, and I'd probably trim it right to here, and we're starting the photo right there. Good. Projects. Alright, so now I get to look through all of these things. Let's start with the top one. Logo identity. Normally, your own personal logo is not really considered a project. You can present it as one. That's a way too close for the business card, and it looks pixelated and flat, and the view is not in perspective. There's so many mock-ups you could use like this that would be a better view of that. Letterhead, I don't see any letterhead. I don't know. Envelope is. So I would rework that slideshow with these kind of images. To be as critical as the Russian, let's see, what kind of feedback would I get you? The word studios is clever where it's at. You found a place for it right in the E. That's good. Now, I want you to squint at that and realize that to some degree, that almost changed your E to an F. And so some people are going to glance and see FJ. All right. And this green is really interesting, but I don't see it anywhere else, so it feels out of place at the moment. So I'd be tempted just to put EJ and drop studios because, well, as far as I know, you're not running your own agency, your own studio. And you'd resolve the issue of, is it an F or an E? Other than that, let's see. That just seems a strange placement for a photo. I would just make this paragraphs of mock-up with a signature and a name in print. I would lower the address and I'd make this smaller. Takes up too much of the page. This could be smaller, and you don't want right justified and left justified. You don't want to go back and forth. So get all this text aligned, make that smaller. Yeah, so there's some thoughts there. That's what I would do with the logo and identity. Okay, moving on to the MS Walk. The first view of it just looks like a word cloud, and basically you can assign a computer, tell a computer, here's a whole bunch of words, here's what's most important, make a word cloud for me. And that's what it looks like right here. This looks like a word cloud. This looks much more than a word cloud, and it doesn't match that other image. So I'm confused. I don't understand why this is blue and maroon, and then I come here. Oops. Okay, maybe I don't come there. And I come here, and now it's orange and brown and maroon and green. So, okay, now you show me the blue. I don't know. I would stick with this and this. I don't think you need blues. I mean, this is effective. It works. Um, it's good. Okay, here's changes I'd make. You don't. I would push this over the top of your pattern and make it smaller. You want all of this space for letters. Yeah, I'd put your name there, but I'd put it the same size as this, and I'd probably put your signature. The Postal Service will not allow this to be here and go through. They have standards. They claim that they control that and this and this. So those are really no print zones. Let's see. I still think you'd get in trouble with the Postal Service with that. So watch out. Other than that, I like the project. So I would change this view to the orange one and move on. Okay, now this one I've tried many times to get you to pull this all to brand. Right now, as far as I'm concerned, this is all on brand. So that's great. Now if I come here, it's all this black that doesn't feel like it's on brand. This feels much better. That feels like it matches that perfectly because it's a close-up. That does, that does, that does. So, I don't know if I'd even show this photo. I mean, it's okay, but it's certainly not as great as all these, and these are all on target. Now, this view right here does demonstrate to me that this is impossible to read. No one is going to be able to read those things. They can read Midland Comic Con and maybe the dates, but this stuff, they're not going to be able to read that. So that kind of stuff is going to have to go into a bubble like this. And maybe just have a second one right here. I don't know. So that's an idea. All right. Movie poster series. You know, oh, boy, right here. You don't want to show white edge on this. So I can work with you. If you have this in Photoshop, which I'm sure you do, I can show you how we can trim that out. You're, in the end, good graphics is all about the little teeny details. I know in the beginning, it's all about the big elements and the big arrangement. And you've done that. Big image, big title, smaller stuff, well done. But when we leave these little things incomplete, it doesn't reflect well. So we could fix that. And obviously, right here, the contrast is not enough, so I can't really read that. So I wouldn't make it just white. I'd probably pull the light skin color from the doll and make that the text and logo up here. And probably the same here. I'd probably pull it from this and then apply that there. And what is that little white thing? I'd fix that. That's weird. Now, the other thing that bugs me is why doesn't this image go off the bottom and the wings go off the edge? It would certainly look a lot better. And same here. Let that go off, and let it go off the bottom. And if they are a series and the two backgrounds are so close in color, I'd probably do a blend, choose one and make them both, the same because they're so close, but they're different. So it looks like a mistake, not a choice. I know it was a choice, but okay. And as far as the titles go, I would say he never died. Okay, so I would probably make he never the same size and died bigger. And the boy, I'd probably make the a little slightly smaller and boy slightly bigger. All right, so there's some very specific feedback for you related to that one. Okay, let's check out these posters. I would really appreciate it if I could click on this or this or this or this or that to, this whole thing should be an active button, in my opinion, that would take you to this. Okay, now, you confused me a little bit because back here, the thing I clicked on looked like a photograph of peanut butter. And then I come over here, and what I see is an Illustrator rendering of, if you will, peanut butter. You can read Right Justified type, but we can't really read a bulk this much justified type. So people are going to read, if this is a poster, they're going to read that, and they'll never read any of this. So and this looks like it's just the same poster in different views. I appreciate that diligence, but if you're really going to make it into a poster, I'd make it a poster series. And if we're talking about fruits and nuts, you could expand it to cover other elements, bananas or something too, or other types of nuts. I don't know. Okay, dynamic words. My concern with this is it's going to come across as a class project. Yes, it's done, and it's done in a very clever way, but there's not a lot of depth to it other than, the chess piece looks like a chess piece, and obviously this is ended. And I think you got other projects out there that are bigger, thicker, heavier duty that I would emphasize, something from typography. You did more than Literacy Link, for instance. And that is a multi-page booklet. So this shows a lot more skill and abilities than the previous one. The other one could be turned into, like, let's say, oh darn it, what did I can't click on it. You could take this one and make it into a brand, and you could just call it chess, and you could say it's a game store, and they sell chess and other games, and here's their logo and identity, and you could turn it into a brand guideline booklet and show what it looks like. So it's expanded into so much more. So this is like the gateway to the beginning of something. And that's what I would encourage you to do. Okay, so let's look at Literacy Link and see if there's any. I would drop the brown line, the thin black line. There's no need for that because it's not repeated in anything else anywhere else. I would remove this. That's an orphan. You don't want an orphan in your portfolio. The margins are too tight at the top here. I mean, look how open they are here, and they're fairly correct there, but then they're super tight here. So I'd correct that, and then the margins aren't the same here. Again, I'd drop the thin black line. I would fix the alignment here. There's an extra space. I push that up. I'd watch out for the widow. A good cover. Good spread mock-up. Okay. Looking at the MI table. Farm. Food MI table. Farm meals. Okay, so this is the message right there. I don't know, really, to tell you the truth, I don't know if people want to see what they're eating as a living. They don't want to be reminded when you're having a steak that you're eating a cow. So it is simple, and it's a reality. But using photograph and using semi-icons and then photograph, I don't find it cohesive right now. It feels splintered into different styles and different approaches. I like the topic MI table. I think that's a really good one. The logo is completely lost here. It might as well not even be there. And having black type over this dark brown, it creates a barrier to legibility. Same with this one. This is probably the approach I would take. So instead of showing me the cow or the chicken on the farm as a photo walking around, living, breathing animal, you show me the wonderful results that could be achieved with the food product as a meal. And then you say, look, savor our state. Okay, this is the way to go, clever. Okay, now let's take this and find a way to give it a little more point of contrast. Let's make your main title pop out more, and let's make a whole series of just the meals. And you don't need to show me the living, breathing cow again. And then these, they're nice, but they're not as effective as this could be with a simple, direct, wonderful plate of meal every time. So I think that would be the way to go. Okay, book covers. It's interesting how you've dipped into 250 more than others. All right. I see consistency in style, consistency in making a theme. So let's see. Recreate books I've read. I think I would use the term create a series of books and then show, here's my series. Here's how I did the series. Series on the same topic. The type seems a little close to the edge. Oh, okay, it is too close to the edge. It's too close to the edge here. The author and the name of the book is in competition with each other. You could probably put leverage in death in white right there, going across, although that would leave a whole lot of empty space down, wouldn't it? So I don't know what to do about this competition. I guess I would make the name smaller. I would drop them by 60%. Yeah. And as you got this all done, you could show me the backs. Of course, you'd have to expand it, but it would make sense to show the backside as well. Okay, let's look at the symposium booklet. Whoa! Maybe it's not there yet. Let me try again. That's frustrating. Read more. Ooh, okay. I hate when my phone does that. It feels like something's taken over. Let's see. Maybe it's just not in here yet. What are these dots? Can I do anything with these dots? No. Okay. What about these dots? Okay. Right. The elevator. And so it's coming. I take it it's coming. All right, fine. You also have some photography in here. Fabulous. You might want to break them down by topic, and by topic, maybe skill sets, saying, close up, landscape, studio, so that you show a range of photography skills, perhaps. And this would be one place where I would let them display larger, or at least let me be able to click on them and show them larger. So fabulous that you're showing skills beyond graphic design to support graphic design. That's very, very well done. So, okay, there's my feedback. I'm trying to be as critical as the Russian, but give you some examples of how to fix it, not just say, oh, I don't like this. All right, talk to you later.